Hello again, YouTube. Truth Man here. So I got a content by request from Charisma 808, and he brought up a good point earlier. Content by request is generally free, but don't forget about your boy, man. The thing with Charisma 808 is most of his content by request, he sends a super thanks, and I don't require it, but he does it, which, I don't have no problem with doing the content by request, but it'll make you want to, common sense, man. Who you gonna be swifter to? The person that sends their gratification or the person who doesn't? Me, I'm gonna do both, but over time I'll be looking like, okay, I'm not in this to make money, but it's only fair, y'all. Y'all already know how the game go, man. He says, men having kids. In these times, I want kids, but I've seen some crazy stories. My brother fought for full custody over his daughter and won. I've seen stories where the mother was abusive to the children, all types of situations. Those situations kind of scare me. Would you recommend marriage before kids or no kids outside of marriage? You're risking a lot by having kids with modern women today. Let's go for a ride. Let's talk about this. This is important. A lot of guys want kids. I want you to know that kids are way more difficult than they seem. It's not always the kid themselves. It's the situation, the circumstances surrounding the kid. Case in point, people start dogging your kids out. You put your kids in public school, you want them to have friends. Nobody plays with your kids at recess. Those things hurt, man. I'm going to tell you. It's a lot that we deal with in regards to our kids. I don't regret one bit having kids. But sometimes, like I just had to check a dude about trying to play my son's kindness for weakness. And I had to let them know, hey man, if you keep bothering them, I'm about to come see you or something. I don't know what these people think, but hey, listen, I don't know if they heard out the preacher or whatever, but don't ever get it twisted. Don't ever look at me as a preacher that's just gonna be acting wimpy, thinking I'm pleasing God. I know the truth. Wimpiness does not please God, and the Most High understands when you have to, as they say now, the new saying that's out there, if you have to stand on business. So it's a lot more to having kids and dealing with kids than people understand. What I would recommend is get your money right. Vet these women out, man. If you get close to a woman, and she acting right and you got your money right, you say, okay, well, you go to her like, what do you think about having kids? See where her head is at, because they'll switch up on you. And you gonna pay more if you get divorced and got kids than if you just got kids. You gonna pay alimony and child support if you go the marriage route with the kids. I had to tell somebody, like, I would have still had kids, they just would have looked different because they would have been with somebody else. They would have looked different than they do with her. But you want to have a kid, don't be busting off all over the place trying to make babies, man. Get your money right. I would say you should have at least $15,000 cash. I'm talking about cash. I'm talking about where you can grab it like this. $15,000 before you even let your balls twitch to bust one. You ain't got $15,000, don't even think about it. And then if you can get more than that, that's even better. If you could become a millionaire first, hey man, you want kids, she gonna get a lot of that million, but you'll still be able to live a comfortable lifestyle. You know, if you can, this how I look at it. If you encounter a semi-unicorn or a unicorn and you discuss this with her, you know, don't get her pregnant against her desire. If that's your girl, that's your concubine or whatever, you running past her like, what do you think? What do you think about kids? What if we had kids? What's up with that? Well, how would you feel about that? She say, I don't want no kids. Do not get her pregnant. If she say, oh yeah, I always wanted kids, this, that, and the other, then you say, how would you feel about having kids with me? Like, if, I'm just saying. Say it like that. Say, I'm just saying. She say, well, I don't see the problem with it. I mean, we together and stuff. But again, get that money first. If y'all both working, you know, plan it. Plan it, because you got to understand something. You living with a woman, that's going to be different. You trying to marry a woman, that's going to be different. You better make sure that this woman done passed your test. We're going to talk about that probably sometime this week too. What should you look for? And I know these women going to be taking notes trying to fake you out, but still, you can only fake for so long. They're going to be trying to fake some of you guys out. These women be watching. And some of them want to do right. That's why I don't believe in just having a bitter attitude, not dealing with women. I don't believe in that. Okay, my marriage didn't work, so what? I'm not going to hold no grudge against her, and I'm not going to hold no grudge against the women I deal with in the future. I'm gonna deal with each person based on their own actions. I'm not going to hold the actions of somebody previous against those in the future. Although the previous actions done woke me up. So, if you want kids, you want kids, man. It ain't nothing. I would say you don't have to be married to have kids. You know, a lot of church folk will try to cause. Listen, man, you gonna have to beta up to be married. I've always been alpha, but I had to go become somewhat of a beta in marriage. And that was part of the problem too. That was like one of the main problems is when I finally start waking up, I'm like, man, I'm not finna be no beta. I'm not finna be no simp. So you start standing on and you know, I make my moves, she made her moves. You know? But don't fear having kids. And another thing that people need to do, you need to go to the doctor first and make sure you can have them. Because these women be lying on guys. Now they saying that Christian Rock kid is not Blueface. I don't know if he telling the truth or not, but he claimed he went and did a DNA test behind her back, and they said it wasn't his. I don't know. But make sure you got healthy sperm. Go to the doctor first. Because then, if you have problems, you'll know the doctor told you got healthy sperm, and it could be something with her. You know, make sure her chromosomes is right. Stuff like that. You know, if you got high blood pressure, get your blood pressure down first. You or her. Because that can cause complications too. And I'm gonna give you a trick, man. I ain't no pervert now, but watch this. Depending on what you like, that's how much she should weigh when you impregnate her. Let me give you an example. I hate to use her as an example, but you see the Keke Palmer afterwards, the Keke Palmer before. See, with black women, man, if they weigh like 140, they gonna come out slamming. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I ain't trying to be nasty or nothing, but I'm just giving you an example. They gonna come out with curves that they didn't have beforehand. Even if they did the slightest exercise, they gonna come out with more curves than they had. Now, of course, if she was only 115, she'd probably be like 140. If she 140, she gonna get up to the voluptuous weight of probably 180. She gonna gain 30 pounds. And this is what you gotta look out for too. Married guys and single guys. You gotta understand, when they have a baby, they gonna gain weight. So this is what happens. If she has a baby, she gained 40 pounds. If she don't shed that weight and you get her pregnant again, she gonna gain another 40. So she gonna be up 80. So if she weighed 140, she gonna be 220. If she weighed 160, she gonna be probably 240. You know? That ain't gonna be the worst thing. A lot of dudes will tell you, when they women gain weight, them secretions was quicker. For some. Y'all can say what y'all want about big girls and stuff like that. I wonder what's your experience level with them. Because me personally, I'm not trying to be nasty. A lot of time, the bigger women, you be blasting off quicker. That's just me. I'm thinking of my own experience. There's been some skinny ones that I was banging on all night. All night. But then the bigger ones, quick. I'm just talking, I don't know about you. I don't know, you know, the YouTubers be on here classifying and stuff like that. Proof it. I want to see, well, I don't want to see, I ain't gonna watch it, but I want to hear about some of these dudes that be talking about the little skinny minis and all that, like they the most desirable. I want them to go and get them a BBW. And then I want you to come back and tell us the truth about how long it took you to get your jollies off. Yeah, that's what I want. I ain't gonna name names, but it's a couple of them be on here talking about fat women this, fat women that. Them fat women you talking about, you 2 minutes, you gonna be a minute man with a lot of them. If they don't stink, come on, dude. Come on, dude. And I'll tell you something else. If you ever watch POR fill in the blank, man. Y'all know this, I'm the truth, man. If you want fakeness, you in the wrong place. You can almost tell, like depending on how much of that stuff you don't watch, you could almost tell by watching what would be a pleasant experience, the ones that would be, if you had them, the ones that would be a pleasant experience, the ones that probably would, if you an expert watcher, you know. Now, of course, this isn't always, and we off subject a little bit, this ain't always the case, but I'm just saying. So you like what you like, man. I like what I like. You like what you like, man. You know. But in terms of having kids, you gotta, these things come into play. Blood pressure. If she's diabetic, I wouldn't advise it because it could be complicated. It's more likelihood of complications. You know, if she's diabetic and she a diabetic unicorn, I ain't trying to roast. I'm just saying. Then what you want to do beforehand is you want to get those levels regulated. You know, because the chances, high blood pressure, diabetes, this is a very more, because they say like when a woman has diabetes, the baby's shoulders be wider. And it's more likely complications trying to push him out or her out. Y'all know I be studying all type of stuff. You know. So, if you want kids, man, just wait till the time is right and wait till you think you got the right person. Or at least somebody that's good enough. You done discussed it with her. You know. You done went to the clinic, be taking your zinc. All you guys who want kids, who ain't had kids, make sure you're taking your zinc pills. Make sure you're taking your multivitamin with an additional zinc pill. You know, let me not talk too much for the bored wannabe elites start trying to attack other stuff. So I don't want to put too much information out there. So we gonna just end this. I think I probably helped you on this one. You know, and anybody else that you've been thinking about it, don't be forcing marriage to have no kids. You don't need to be married to have kids. All you gotta do is get one of them things off at the right time, and you gonna have kids. Thanks for watching. Keep tuning in. This is The Truth Man. The channel is the No Matrix, No Simping, All Subjects channel.